And Coach, I'm not going to put any pressure on you, but I'm going to be in Austin for Thanksgiving, okay? And you better take care of business like you did right here in Lubbock last year, okay?
All right, everybody. So I want to wish y'all all a happy Thanksgiving. Really, just anybody except for Brett Yormark. I want to wish a happy Thanksgiving to. As you might have heard before, Brett Yormark is going to be on hand from Austin. He's going to be on Austin, Texas. He wants to see Texas Tech try and beat the Texas Longhorns like they did in 2022. This is the final game. So when you talk about the revenge tour, really it's been a revenge tour in multiple ways this season because this is the last season of the SEC. Last season before we head to the SEC. Last season of the Big 12. So we've been wanting to, stamp an L on every team's sheet that we last see. Well, we get a chance to do that with the Texas Tech Raiders. Last year they beat the Texas Longhorns. We had a 21-point lead, lost it like we've done so many times under Steve Sarkisian. But this team is a little bit different. This team, they've shown the ability to have a chip on their shoulder multiple times, and I think this is going to be one of the games. Iowa State, they put that chip on their shoulder this last game, and they didn't really need to at all, but they did, and that's just going to add to another onion to the layer of the revenge tour. So they've been trying, and Joey McGuire, he's been trying to walk back we're really friendly. They got a really good team, all that stuff, and Steve Sarkisian's taking a political approach to it, but I think at the end of the day, they just want to walk out there and they want to kick the ever-loving crap out of this Texas Tech Raider team coming into Austin, Texas. So we're going to be getting into this preview, and yeah, if you like the video, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then comment down below your thoughts. And again, yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I know this is going to be probably coming out the night before Thanksgiving, and then most people, if you see this, you're probably seeing it on Thanksgiving Day, so happy Turkey Day. Hope you get all the sides. Hope you get all the dessert that you want. Let's pack DKR Friday. And, yeah, let's just hop right on into the video. All right, in the honor of Thanksgiving, had to set the table up just a little bit there for this whole ordeal. Now, the Texas Longhorns, we are also going to be going into senior night, so there is that added thing. I mean, you have guys like T'Vondre Sweat. It will definitely be T'Vondre Sweat's last time playing in DKR. You'd have to be a fool to think that doesn't mean something, that's not going to add some motivation to what these players are going to be playing with. So let's just run over all the numbers real quick, and in the meantime, in the process, talk about what we think about the team that we're going up against. Now, Texas Tech, just overall numbers, they're not going to wow you. They're not going to wow you in the overall numbers. Third down conversion, they've been that's not a bad number. That's an all right number. Red zone scoring percentage, I'll get the TDs for you a little bit later, but they're not punching the ball a lot when they get inside the red zone, and then that's not going to pair well when you're going up against a team that we're not allowed. When you get to the red zone, I mean, you get to the red zone against Texas, it's red for a reason. It's hard to score against Texas in that area. Third down conversions, we're number one in the country. So when you talk about money downs and the ability to play when it's on the money, this Texas defense has been stellar. Amazing. And it's the job that Pete Kwiatkowski has done is, I still don't think he gets the amount of credit that he really deserves to get. Now that being said, I mean, we could be a little bit better in this area and multiple games, but I mean, imagine if we were better. We're talking about the difference between we're probably at the line of like damn good to elite, but you just allow one or two less touchdowns in the season, and I mean, you can consider this an elite defense. Opponent yards per game. Now, yes, they might get some yards. The opponent might pick up a little bit more yards, but you know what? They're not scoring the ball at the end of the day. And what matters? Would you rather, if you were talking about the Texas Longhorns offense versus Texas Tech, would you rather say we scored 5 times or put up 500 yards? I don't care how many times. I don't care how much yards we get. If we have 250 yards of offense and we score 5 times, sure, I'm fine with that. Uh, now, all that to be said, Texas has a sizable advantage on the defense over the Texas Tech offense, statistically speaking. Now, Texas on the offensive side, same story. Texas Tech is horrible on third down conversions, not allowing third downs. Horrible in red zone scoring. Good thing they're going up against a team that's not been good scoring in the red zone. We've been getting better, trending a little bit better in that area. Third down conversions, we could be better. Fourth down, we do start that, and I think this goes to show about the scheming that we've seen from Steve Sarkisian. He has plays that when he needs it, he can dial them up, and he's going to get them. So that is comforting to know. But at the end of the day, let's not get to fourth downs. Texas Tech running the ball. They're going to run the ball. Offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs under Dick Vermeil when Priest Holmes was the running back. There was a quote, I'm going to paraphrase it. He talked about how Priest Holmes he said when he was asked about the Kansas City offense, what does Kansas City mean to what does Priest Holmes mean to the Kansas City offense? Well, I'm going to paraphrase in the terms of Texas Tech and Taj Brooks. What does an engine mean to a car? That's what Taj Brooks means to the Texas Tech offense. They are going to pound the rock, and they want to do it often. The yards per rush may not blow you away, and that is the thing. You go and you look at his numbers. I mean, this is a guy that he's leading the country with 250 carries. Or I think he's leading the country in carries. Don't quote me on that. But he's right there in the top 5, top 3 at least for yardage with 1,352 yards, 9 touchdowns. Jonathan Brooks has a lot higher yards per carry. I mean, I think if you were to have the same amount of carries for Jonathan Brooks, he would be like a 1,600-yard back right now. So this is a deal where he's going to get his yards through volume. Volume. He's going to run. They're going to try and be a battering ram. Well, that doesn't pair well against Texas. I don't know if you've been looking at these numbers right here, but there's a reason why teams run the ball the least against us. Look at what we did to Kansas State the other week. I mean, opponent yards per rush, it was starting to trend upward for a little bit after that Oklahoma game. They fixed it. And then you look at this, like again, opponent rushes per game. Opponents are rushing the ball the least amount against Texas. We're top 5, so we're 7th in the country as far. There's only 6 teams that allow less yards on a per rush basis than Texas. And there's only 4 teams who allow less rushing yards than Texas does. This Texas rush defense it's one of the most elite ones that we've seen in my entire lifetime. Since the 2000s, you can say that there's maybe 2 or 3 rushing defenses that are better than this one. This one might be when it's all said and done after the 13-game mark, because they don't count the bowl games and all that stuff for the season part. When you get to that 12 and 13 game mark and you can directly compare it to other seasons that we had in the 2000s on a per game basis with the amount of games that have been played, this Texas defense might stand number 2. There have been a lot of good rushing defenses since the 2000s. This is one of the most special ones that we've seen. I'm really, really happy to have, witnessed it and been a fan for all this stuff. But yeah, I'm very proud because and you know what? This will actually be a good time to bring this up. Yeah, real quick, I got a couple of tweets that I want to statistics that I want to read to you about this Texas Longhorns defense, rush defense specifically, because Pete Kwiatkowski needs to get his flowers and he deserves them. In the year 2021, when a lot of people were calling for his name after that, Texas allowed 2,419 yards in 12 games. Look, I wasn't happy with the rush defense either. That's 5.3 yards per rush. In the years 2022 and 2023 combined, add them together, so far, Texas has allowed 2,544 rushing yards in 24 games. So twice the amount, twice the number of games, almost the same amount of rushing yards. This Texas defense, what Pete Kwiatkowski has done after that first year, the transformation that we have seen, it has been nothing short of stellar. You add in also, Texas has so far held 5 opponents to 2 yards a carry for a less so far. Those teams combined have rushed for 140 yards on 125 carries, 1.12 yards per carry, 0 touchdowns. Elite stuff. Well, okay, they were all bums. Kansas State was one of those. And Kansas State had some rushers that were like some Taj Brooks. So, look, Texas, it's not a deal where it's, okay, you know what, Taj Brooks, he's going to just run and he's going to run all over Texas. No, sirree. Taj Brooks is going to give Texas a, considerable opponent. He's going to be a worthy opponent for this Texas rush defense. But they've been to the task for multiple people in the past, and I would not be surprised if they were for this one. Now, this is where it just really starts to get lopsided. Okay? They want to be they want to run the ball a lot, but if they can't run the ball a lot, and if they're struggling to run the ball, this is a team that throws a lot of interceptions. This is a team that the QB sack number looks all right, but when you go to shout out to Texas Homer in his preview, if you go to his pressure to sack ratio, Baron Morton, he is one of the highest. He's a very high pressure to sack ratio. This Texas team gets a lot of pressure. I think that you're going to see some sacks this game with this Texas team. I also think when you see that happen, you're going to see him make some dumb decisions. You're going to see him make mistakes. He's going to throw more interceptions. I think Texas might get a couple interceptions in this game. They're a team that they have passed the ball quite a few times in the last few weeks. But I don't think that they're entirely comfortable being in. This is not an air raid Texas Tech team of the years past. So I think forcing them into that could cause some discomfort and really could cause some turnovers and, cause this thing to go lopsided. When you add into the fact of Cedric Baxter is going to run on this Texas Tech defense. So Cedric Baxter and Jaden Blue, I think they're going to be able to take advantage of this rushing defense that they're going up against. And when you pair that with them not having success on the ground game, which that's their bread and butter. When you combine that with them getting sacked, throwing interceptions, which I think is going to happen, things just don't work well. Texas, we've had one of the best completion percentage in the nation. Texas Tech, they've been all right. I mean, there's nothing to really get complain about. There's nothing to really go, oh my gosh, that's going to be amazing. We need to take advantage of that. If anything, it's the fact that they're not sacking people, and they're not getting interceptions. So that's one area that you could go and you could look at. I think Quinn Ewers is going to have a considerable amount of time back there in the pocket. I do question how much Quinn Ewers is going to be able to play because the line opened up at 14 points for a reason. It started to go back down to 12.5. It's gone back up to 14 points. Night game, this is going to be one of the first, I forgot to mention this, should have mentioned this off the rip, but this is a night game in DKR. This is the first true night experience that we're going to have with the new lights, new everything. So that'll be something fun to watch for. But I think this Texas team, I think we're going to be able to roll Texas Tech. The numbers, they don't work well in Texas Tech favor. Not at all. I mean, because really the way that I see Texas Tech having success against this Texas team is on the ground through Taj Brooks. And that's just going to be a tall task to ask him to just carry the rock over and over again. Because, I mean, this is a guy that he's carried the rock. We're talking, he's gone above 24 carries probably like 5-7 times this year. This is a guy that very rarely is below 20 carries. He is the absolute definition of a workhorse back. So, with all that being said, we're about to go do our, we like to do our little underdog predictions. We're going to be doing our prop lines right now, so hang in there, and we'll be right back with those. All right, so like I said, we're about to be doing the pick'ems. So if you want to go and join me doing these pick'ems, you can go ahead and do that. Use code NASH for your first $1 for $1 deposit, up to $100 match. So you put in $10, they'll give you $10 as well. You put in $100, they'll give you $100 as well. That'll all be in your account. So, deposit $10, $20 will be in your account. Deposit $100, $200 will be in your account. So use code NASH for your first dollar for dollar deposit match, up to $100 on Underdog Fantasy. Easy code to remember, NASH, and let's go on. Let's get these picks in. So here you can see Behren Morton, and like I said in past weeks, what I'm doing with these is I'm taking what we. I hope this doesn't change the. Okay, that didn't. Okay. I'm taking what I did with my selections I've made with the underdog, not the underdog show, with my show that I do for Orange Bloods every morning, 6:30, 7:30. Now we didn't do it this morning. We've been off for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. A little Thanksgiving action. So we did them early on Tuesday. So that being said, I'm going to be using those lines. Now, Behren Morton, we did not have a line for him, but I'm almost tempted to take this over, but we're going to hold off on that for right now. 101, I think less than 101.5 rushing yards. Now there's a chance that they use him just like I've said. He's been a battering ram for them. So would it shock me if he had over 101.5 rushing yards? No, it wouldn't. But we do need to be taking one from the other team. And like I said, this Texas rush defense, they are elite. They've held some very good running backs. They've held some very good rushing teams to some low yardage. So I'm fine with taking that one. And then also on these ones, to be honest, I just don't know enough to even put it. That would literally like being throwing money down a well and hoping it pops up $10. I can't tell you anything on those guys. Now, Quinn Ewers, 2 passing touchdowns. I feel like that's a low number. We'll look at that. That's a spicy line that I'm always going to be wanting to take. My numbers that I had for Quinn Ewers was 27 completions on 34 attempts for 325 yards and 3 touchdowns. So technically, by my predictions, I could take the higher on that. 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 That is a little bit of a concern. And this kind of almost goes into my theory and my thought process with Quinn Ewers and this predicting this Texas team. I wanted to see a good game. I think that, you know what? I think we might see lower than 31.5 passing attempts. I'm not going to choose that. What I'm going to go with is I'm going to go higher on the passing touchdowns. I think Texas is going to have an efficient day through the air. I think that we're going to get to a lead to the point where we're going to start running the ball frequently. You might see Malik Murphy. Who knows? You might see that. My bold prediction was actually like going into this thing. We might see Arch Manning. Arch Manning might get his first snap. I think Texas is going to win that much. That's a very interesting one. I'm going to be taking that in just a second. We'll be talking about that more. Now, what were my Cedric Baxter lines? I had 19 carries, 120 yards, 1 touchdown. My co-host Aaron Little had 22 carries, 103 yards, 1 touchdown, and Travis Gailey, 20 carries, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. All that to say, man, I think we're all over on this. Not on the rushing yards, just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. But this rushing line feels dangerous to me because that feels like really right on the money for where it's going to be. Maybe he goes over, maybe he goes under. I think us having such a big lead, you might see some Trey Wisner action. You might see some Jaden. Not some. You might see some Jaden Blue. You will see some Jaden Blue. You might see some more Keelan Robinson. Savion Red. I just think that this is going to be a day where the running backs are going to get a lot of carries, and it may not be the ones that you always think. The free line is gone. The free line of a touchdown is gone. If there was ever just an Adonai Mitchell touchdown, I'm taking it. But this is you know what? Okay, we can only. I'm going to take that one. I'm going to stay off the Worthy line. Here's my explanation. Taj Brooks, good elite rush defense that he's going up against. It's just easy right there. Quinn Ewers, 3 passing touchdowns. I think he's going to. I think there's a chance he gets 4. Now maybe 2 is right on the money. You know what? You know what? This is something that I want to talk about because I don't like these things. I'm never taking a if I can avoid it, I'm only taking half numbers. So we're gonna fill that in with a different one. We'll go higher on the completions. Okay, I can't do that one. Okay, I can't do that one. Wow. All right, we just got. Hey, Jesus, take the wheel. We just got to take a leap of faith right here with the passing touchdowns. I will say I don't like. I tried to, like I said, if I can avoid it, I tried to avoid it. I don't like that. I don't like that. Because if he gets 2 passing touchdowns, that can be a push, and that certainly could happen. I think that there could be some rushing touchdowns on the ground. We'll see about that. Adonai Mitchell, that dude can get that in 1 reception. That's almost a lock. Jatavian Sanders, I think we're gonna start to see him more and more. CJ Baxter, I think he's gonna get higher on that one. So we'll put our $5 in on this line, and we'll see how this does. Hopefully this one hits. But as I mentioned, we got a spicy one to do. Okay. Now Baron Morton, we'll take you because we got to have one from the other team, and if we're doing a spicy line, we might as well get a spicy pick. Jaden Blue touchdown. I love that line. I think that he could. This is certainly a dude that could. Jordan Whittington in his last game in DKR getting a touchdown. Yes, I could see that happening 100%. And then we will go with our man Xavier Worthy. He would have had this last week. I did the 6 receptions higher. He would have had it last week, but got injured, got pulled out early. So, it is what it is. We're going to put the $5 slip on that one, and then that one has some potential. Let me go ahead and see because I got rid of it before. I could see what the potential payout was. What's our potential? Ooh, up to $500. Yeah, we hit the max. We hit the max on that one, baby. Okay. All right, everybody. So hopefully that one hits. Look, would be a great Thanksgiving. Got to pay for all the Thanksgiving food somehow. So, all right, everybody. Hope you all have a great day. Hope you all have a great Thanksgiving, a great Turkey Day. One last little thing. You know what? I hope none of y'all are complaining about the turkey being dry because you know what? It's your fault if the turkey's dry. I'll be posting some victory laps on Twitter tomorrow, but you should be able to smoke or roast a turkey and have it stay nice and juicy because it might be a little bit of user error on that part because I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be smoking me and my turkey tomorrow, and that thing is going to be juicy. It's going to be, it's going to be like the damn rain that's been hitting Austin the last month. So, all right, everybody. Hope you all have a great day. And as always, let's go get this Texas Tech dub. Send them off to the Shadow Realm crying. Brett Yormark. Need to show him on the big Jumbotron. Just absolutely not crocodile tears, but almost like a crocodile smile, right? Absolute, just you know it's fake, you know it's phony. He doesn't want to. All right, everybody. Hope you all have a great day. Hook 'em!